This episode of the Community Workbench podcast is brought to you by yours truly, Matt Noren of Remax Bell Park. For all of your real estate needs, call me 860-428-6534. Your dreams are my job. The Community Workbench podcast is in the middle of their Spread the Love campaign. When you can, if you can, when you can, donate to all of our food banks. These are the lean months. The holidays, we are very good as a community at donating. Just try to think of them when you can. This is kind of the off season when their shelves get kind of bare. So take a chance when you can and spread some love. And yeah, so we can keep people fed year round. Welcome to the Community Workbench. This is Matt Noren and Kyle Morrissey. We are your hosts of the number one podcast in my basement. Kyle Morrissey's fill-in Mike Covington is here with us as well. At the bench, we try to repair the sense of community. So every week we bring you small businesses, entrepreneurs, community leaders, charities, and pretty much whoever we feel like talking to. And today we feel like talking to Paul Levake of Wicked Sinister Smokehouse. Wicked Sinister Smokehouse. How you doing, Paul?
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Hey, man, welcome back.
It's been like what,
Probably a year.
a year or two, like since
Yeah.
I was one of the first ones. It was
Were you okay?
like 6, 7, 8 in that ballpark, I think.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
that far back.
We're episode 126 today.
Wow, man. So
Yeah.
really, thank you for having me back. I
Heck yeah.
appreciate it.
Heck yeah. Wow. Man, time flies too.
It really does.
So, you were early on. That's great.
Yeah, man. I was one of the OGs.
Yeah, I love it. I
I,
love
I,
it.
I might have been a little bit before what I said, but like I remember it was pretty early on in the discussions because I remember talking to you in Putnam at like 3 years ago at least with the Fire and Ice Festival.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
because and
And
that
this
was
was
like after like the first fairs.
Oh, okay.
So we came to know each other because you were always working security.
Yeah. Well, I just helped set up. I
No, but I
don't.
remember you like at night, like driving by in your go kart, man, and I was like hanging out, like cooking. And I'd be like, "Hey, it's that guy again," which it turned out to be Matt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so
Gotcha. Yeah.
you've been I've known you for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, and I want to thank you and all the others that were on those early episodes. It was I'm really grateful for the leap of faith people took because we put your brand out there. You're partnering, and
Yeah.
I really am thankful for that
Good.
we're able
You
to
you can
prove.
tell good people,
Thank
and
you.
we life goes on as we know it, but circling back around after a few years, there's been some just different discoveries about personally and business wise that we've learned across the way. And if I've always took the approach of no matter what I was doing in this world was I really wanted to leave a good imprint or do the best that I can of whatever that was while I'm here. I've done a lot of different things. I've listened to people of how to live a life, and this is the first point I think I've realized what it means, what it's like to take control of that. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
Not it's been so difficult because I always try to live my life according to what my mom or my aunts and my relatives and what my friends and what people thought of me and what you should do, and never realizing that the entire time I was just pushing through this impossible wall.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think I realized, at some point after my surgery and what all this stuff meant, and coming out from the other side of it, I'm so I'm so pumped about what I've learned about myself,
Okay.
of what
Yeah.
the message I have to as I'm continually learning it. But I'm so excited to really rewrite the script of what people expected
Mm-hmm.
me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If do you know those moments growing up where people really just be like, this is what you need to do, and this is what,
Yeah.
and you know, and being autistic and sitting there, I'm like, this is what I need to do. They're right. This is my family. Yeah, a lot of times I feel like the movie Joker, Arthur Fleck, where as he grew up through his life, he had different father figures, and I did that with between my uncle, between my track coach in high school, to my boss. After I graduated high school, my father figures changed over the course of the years, and they all led me down the road of disappointment because I didn't know what it was like to have a father. The only
Okay.
time I saw my father in real life was drunk underneath a bush as my mom and I went up St. James Church, the stairs going into in the building, and I remember he turned around. You know, he said something I don't remember exactly,
Yeah.
and my mom just grabbed my arm and pulled me into the church.
Wow.
And I said, "Who was that?" And she's like, that was your father."
Oh wow.
That's
Wow.
the only time I ever saw my father in real life,
How old were you?
like 6 or 7,
Wow.
in that ballpark. And you want to talk about leaving an imprint on an autistic and ADHD child that didn't know he was these things. You know, my mom also probably, suffers from a lot of these afflictions, and and growing up in our age, only being a second generation American, by the way.
Wow.
Because my meme and my meme was from France, came over during their war because the Germans were invading their village on the southern part of France.
Wow.
And she met my grandfather. They said, let's get married, and they did. And, she came over on a boat on the Ellis Island.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
She's
Came from
on
Ellis
she's
Island.
on one of the OG lists.
Huh.
Wow.
Suzanne Charpentier, if
What-
you want to do the math. So
What is that?
it's Suzanne Charpentier.
Oh, that's the
That
name.
was her
Oh,
maiden
okay.
name coming
Okay.
over from the boat,
Wow.
which in French, Charpentier is carpenter. So she was Suzanne Carpenter coming over from France,
Oh wow.
during the, like I said, the Germans invading her village. And
Is she one of the ones that they changed their name?
yeah, well, she got married. My father, my grandfather, the family, from Quebec, and I believe Levesque was also one of the grand ministers. How do they do that over there? Whoever is like the president of Canada, the prime minister.
Prime Minister.
Prime
Yeah.
Prime Minister.
Yeah.
Sorry. I believe we do have some lineage that goes back that Levesque was
Was a prime
that
minister.
we were related to. Actually, my mom's name is one of the main streets through Montreal, Quebec, of Ray-Marie Levesque Lane. It's like a boulevard. It's like the main boulevard through Montreal, and that's what my mom was named after. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Wow. Have you ever been there?
I have.
Yeah?
I have. My family and I don't know, about 6 years ago, we went to the Quebec side, the Canada side of Niagara Falls, and went to Toronto, and then we went to Montreal to see the Notre Dame. And you go around and you do the touristy stuff, and then you're standing there in the middle of Main Street, Montreal, looking at your mom's name on the street name. You go, huh?
That's
Okay,
wild. Yeah.
that's wild.
That's cool.
I still have a goal to convince my mom to get in the car for about a 6-7 hour drive to show her the Notre Dame in Montreal, because it's beautiful.
Wow.
If you've never been.
That's only 6 or 7 hours?
Yeah, it's not. It's
Wow.
really not that bad. It's like as soon as you
thought.
cross over to Canada, it's not that much more. You know what I mean?
Huh.
Another gas tank, and you're there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been to Canada. How's their barbecue?
Actually, to be honest with you, there is like on the Vancouver and stuff like that. I've been told that they can hold up to Texas, allegedly.
Wow.
Allegedly.
So,
Okay.
I'm
Those are
just
big
saying-
words, huh?
I'm just saying there are people in Canada that are crazier than we are. So God bless them. You know, cheers.
Cheers.
But yeah, man. As far as Wicked Sinister goes, this year is different.
Yeah.
It's so different. I can't. Like, I feel like sometimes, like, I mean, take a look around. Everybody's, having a hard time. There's nothing given, and we're watching everything being taken away from us on a daily basis, if we're being honest.
Okay.
I'm so excited. I'm like, you know what? I've never had like I've done well, okay, in my life. Like beforehand, like I was a very big overachiever. I was an electrician. You know what I mean. I did everything.
Mm.
You know what I mean. Had a little like setback with as far as my regression goes since right around the start of the pandemic. I'm a pandemic baby, if you will. But going through the pandemic as an undiagnosed ADHD slash autistic person, trying to hold up the weight of the world, that piece of coal, the pressure, slowly turns into a diamond.
Yeah, I remember when you talked about just the clients that you had putting pressure on you to do things that were either unsafe or
It's
just
the gentleman I think that we were talking about last time. It did the builder and the homeowner both left a lasting impression on me about what exactly money can
due to
do.
a person.
Can
Yeah.
do can I mean, let's put it this way, and this is a public record, so I'm not like, you know what I mean, you don't have to like, block this out or whatever, but
I don't have
this
any
is public.
editing.
No,
So.
this is because I saw it happen of what money can do.
Yeah.
So this gentleman out in Waterford, he wanted to continue his fence from the edge of his property down to the water, which, as we know, you can't do that. You don't own the ocean, bro. Okay, right?
Yeah.
You don't own the ocean. We can walk from here to there, from oh sorry,
That's okay.
from
No,
from
nope.
from sea
know.
to shining sea,
Yeah.
so to speak. This land is our land. This land is your land. The whole 9 yards. And he actually threatened the state of Connecticut so much with lawyers and whatever. They said, you know what? Just leave up the effing fence.
Oh, he already had one put up.
He didn't care. He's like, I'm gonna put it up no matter what you say. And because he has so much money, the state of Connecticut was like, you know what? How much money we're gonna spend to fight this guy? So you can outdo the government. I'm just is what I'm saying.
Wow.
You can
Yeah.
you can have enough money that where you can make them go, you know what? It's not worth it.
Huh.
So imagine if, on a grand scale of things, if you multiply that, I mean, there's just, I don't believe any of that crap.
Yeah. I wonder what the later effects of that is, because now you have a specialty.
I watched
on your
that guy
property.
puke and pee all over his property when he thought everybody had gone home. But I was the type of guy that worked overnight. I mean, I would keep going.
Yeah.
And I watched that guy at his worst.
Wow.
And you know what he would say to us guys on the job? It's cheaper than a divorce.
Oh, jeez.
That's how much, and it was a $20 million house. So
Wow.
I'm just telling you the kind of money that this gentleman, he was a VP of some, company about some jet engine, and the government bought the company, bought the specs for the engine.
Oh, wow.
And because he was a CEO of that company, they said, here's your big check.
Yeah.
Go live your life of, invincibility.
Wow.
But, I'm just.
It's wild because you have a fence going down to the ocean, basically
Can't do that.
basically giving you a personal walkway to the ocean.
Mm-hmm. This is my property. I
And
own this.
And that's wild because I feel like they should be able to tax the crap out of them because of the value now. That it
Well,
brings up.
not only are you gonna have the value for the tax, and also what happens when you get some kids that go and mess it up because it's in.
This
the,
is
in the
right
way
next to
walkway
the
is.
state hospital, by the way, in Waterford. The old state hospital that closed down many years ago,
No.
where many people try to break into.
Yeah,
It's literally right next door to that. So
Wow.
you can go on state property and look at the house that the devil built. No hate. I'm not hating.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, where's my check?
Oh, he never paid you for the work?
I know where the bodies are buried, bro.
Jeez.
I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Don't come after me.
That's great.
It's all about the clicks, right?
There's your viral moment, man.
And the beat goes on. Da-da-dum, da-dum.
That's
But yeah, man. I'm excited about this year. Starting out in Woodstock.
Oh, okay. So I was going to ask you your location. Where
Yeah, I'm gonna be starting out here. Hopefully in a week or so. I just started. So I just got back from vacation, and there was a lot of what ifs in the pot. So I was trying to sort through all that stuff. And I think the what if spot where I'm starting, it was right on the first path. So I think being in Woodstock, with my conversation that I just happened to, have today, it's all kind of pointing in one direction. So I'm gonna continue to see where that avenue goes, because at the end of the day, I don't want to take out a loan. I'm so anti-loan with the banks and who own the banks and what's going on in the world with cover-ups and the whole 9 yards. I just feel like I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to give you any more of my money. I'm just not.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't like you. I don't trust any of you. You're all in it together. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just going to connect more with people than I am with banks. I'm not going to sell myself out no more.
Okay. Do you have an address for your location?
2 West
2 West Road,
Woodstock.
Connecticut.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you want to give everybody like a general direction of how to get there?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
landmarks there?
So if you're familiar with Woodstock and the Woodstock Fair on Route 169, if you're coming from like south, it would be right after the Woodstock Fair. There's a left that goes that 171 continues, but if you go straight, it continues to 169. You're gonna want to take a left there, and about a mile up the road, there's gonna be this person that's gonna be just hating his life decisions with heat and and just giving his best version of barbecue that he could ever imagine in his mind.
Nice.
And I really feel like every year that goes by, I learn new things, and I'm excited to share with.
Are you bringing back that cherry barbecue sauce that you had?
It's all coming back, man. It's all coming back.
That was my favorite.
That just reminded me. The last time you were on here, you were talking about a tree that produces a fruit in your yard that you were going to make something.
I wanted to, you know what? And
I was wondering how that
went. It's been a few years. No, but I think I wanted to that year, and both of the trees I had in my yard didn't produce any fruits.
Okay.
It's been a few years since I've seen any fruits. So I'm just kind of guessing like these trees are like, you know what? We're going to enjoy our last few years on this planet, being purple. And I'm good with that. You know what I mean? You don't have to, you know what I mean? You guys gave me a couple years of it. You could have gave me one more year. But you know what? I understand you guys can, just do your tree thing in my yard. I
will say, last year I got out there early, trimmed my peach and apple trees and my cherry tree. And did the neem oil. Shout out to Daigle Farm who kind of coached me on doing that to get to, and we had strong.
He's got some cool stuff going on.
Yeah, and we had some cool. We had some really good strong buds coming out. Like I was like, oh, there's gonna be good fruit crop. And when they got to a certain point, it was like overnight squirrels took them, ate them all. Like ninjas overnight, just gone. Just like
the deer in my backyard with all my dandelions. Shout out to the deer, thank you. Watch out for my neighbor, he has a gun. And he likes to eat deer. Which are delicious, by the way.
I do remember you eating some venison too.
Oh, dude. Yeah, dude.
I was like,
Which, by the way, was fantastic.
Oh,
I
good.
mean,
I felt like such a
shout out
schmuck.
to you, to Matt here with the killer venison. No, I'm serious. Like, listen, game recognized game, man. That was spot on, man.
cool. I remember I was like, is he just being? I felt like
No.
such a schmuck. I'm like, well, he's our
Me?
next door. So he's a vendor right next door to us at the chicken barbecue.
Yeah.
And I always try and do something for the crew in the pit, trying to make some meat snacks or whatever. And yeah, I smoked. I think it was
spot on.
It was like a loin. Maybe it was a loin,
Yeah,
or is that at least backstrap?
I thought it was backstrap. It was backstrap
Yeah, yeah.
when the day I was there.
Yeah, that's right, because you were there with us. And I remember I'm like, dude, this is so lame. I'm feeding a professional barbecuer.
No. Are you kidding me, dude? The first time when I was 24 years old, when I first bought my first house, I buttered the pan before I cooked bacon. I couldn't get the smell of burntness out of my house for 2+ weeks. I'm serious.
I didn't know that would happen.
You know,
I had
that's
no
a true
idea.
story, man.
Wow.
Like, when I first married my wife, like when her parents were here, I didn't even know how to start a charcoal pit. Like, I have no business being in barbecue or where it started, but I think what it was going through the journey of when I first started having my mental thing going on at the beginning of the pandemic. Looking back on it, I remember thinking, like, what's it like to be happy? And the only thing I could think of at the time when I truly felt happy is sitting in the backyard every once in a blue moon, cooking barbecue the wrong way. I would put Sweet Baby Ray's on. I would coat a sirloin steak that I bought from Aldi's, and I would set it on fire. But you know what? That's when I was the happiest. You know what I mean? So at the beginning of the pandemic, remember, it was the end of November, early December, before when we started hearing rumblings in China, like something bad was coming. I remember walking through Lowe's and I'm like, I need a new grill, and I was looking at everything. I was like, oh, there's a cool smoker. I'm like, I always wanted to learn, how smoking actually worked and the science behind it. And really, that's exactly how it happened.
See, I would never believe that's
Right.
yeah, just so many years because like even when you're at your old one of my favorite things to come and get from you was your smoked burgers. That and then the burnt ends. Those and me and my boys would fight over the mac and cheese. Like mac and cheese was killer.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
The cowboy beans are if you've never tried them, if you're not a bean guy, you will be.
I've never had anything bad off your
I
menu.
appreciate you.
Every time I've eaten, I'm like, I want more of this.
And you know what's funny is that the entire time I was going through all that stuff, I was in an incredible amount of pain with my back.
Wow.
I suffered for years with this, and now I'm at a point where I don't feel pain anymore.
Nice.
That's
and
awesome.
I have my 1,000-gallon pit that I just got up from Texas
Wow.
to go in conjunction with the other 500-gallon pit that's on wheels. So I hope you're all ready for this.
Y'all ready for this?
Y'all ready for this?
I like it.
It's coming out hot, man. And
Now-
I'm thankful for the opportunity.
Now, are you staying put, or are you going to still be mobile for fairs and?
I'm
big
doing
events?
a lot less events this year.
Okay.
I've told people I've already committed to a few things that I will follow through with because it was still, when they asked me, it was still early in the thought process. But a lot of people that have been reaching out, it's either going to be catering, like you have to come pick up from us, or it's going to be there. I'm still going to do the Brooklyn Fair. It's
Nice. We'll be there.
Yep, we'll be there.
I just you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love being there.
Nice.
I really do.
Nice.
And when I got, Butt's old spot and being next, you want to talk about full circle coming back from my childhood, because that's when we went to the fair, that's what we used to do, is go to Butt's
Nice.
and have multiple roast beef sandwiches on those days. And now to be full circle and sitting in that spot.
Right.
And I'm also still good with Butt's, by the way, and they're down the road in Woodstock at Chase Building Supply.
Yeah.
And if you want roast beef, you're going to have to go see them. But I'll take care of the brisket and all the other stuff.
Nice.
If you want roast beef sandwiches, you're going to have to go see them.
Nice.
You know?
Nice. That's pretty cool.
I'll never cook roast beef anymore. That's their thing.
Yeah. I don't remember you doing roast beef.
I did the first couple fairs and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
But that was but when I did last year when I got in their spot, I purposely didn't do. I think they were very disappointed that I didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when I got there, it just didn't feel like I should. So
Gotcha.
Yeah, but you had burnt ends. You had, like I said, you had that mac and cheese. You have.
it's gonna
and
be
then-
so different.
yeah.
This year, yeah.
What's the belly with the that crispy fried?
crispy
bottom?
belly?
Oh my goodness, that is like melt in your mouth.
With you, and you got that crunch of kind
yeah.
of like corn chip on the top with, the incredibly soft underbelly. It's like combining the two things of heaven. It just things are happening, man.
Yeah.
I can't explain it.
Yeah.
But you got the crispy on top and the soft on the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that.
And it's touching. It's touching
So
every
good.
piece of your tongue. And that's the idea. You know what I mean? I want to change the view of New England barbecue because I do believe there are some guys I've seen in competitions that I've witnessed firsthand. I was a judge for one thing in Voluntown, and one of the guys that stuck out. I'm just like, all right, you're doing some good things, man. You know what I mean?
Have you gone to and competed in any? Or are you going to?
do. I'm not. So here's the thing. I've done a couple competitions. I did one a year out in Smithfield, Rhode Island. And what I realized last year is that I'm not a competition guy. That's not the way I cook. Because in competition, they're looking for certain things, certain precise pullness and stuff like that. Certain flavors, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like, if you know me, I like to experiment with a lot of different things. I grew up one way with a lot of New England flavor, influence, and being with my wife and doing many trips to Brazil, I've had so many other different experiences as far as barbecue and just food in general. So the idea is, I'm not going to play by any rules. I'm just going to, what makes sense. Combining flavors and just because that's the one thing I think because I don't understand how cooking where it came from, but I do understand. I have a good memory as far as flavor and the combinations and how things interact with each other, and I think that's where it comes from. When you combine I like cooking in my backyard, once every month for a couple hours because I work myself to death, and you combine that with a natural love for barbecue that I've been through in my life. Let's face it, when you think back to as a kid and you go to a family function with a big pig roasting in the backyard, I'm sure it takes you back to some place that you have in your head right now.
Yeah.
I know
Oh,
I
yeah.
do.
Oh, absolutely.
A couple of times. Oh yeah.
You know
couple
what I
of
mean?
different ones.
Things that stick out to you, and you're like, man, that's so American. That's so, you know what I mean? New England. It is New England. Let's face it. And it's time to start showcasing a lot of those flavors. And don't get me wrong. I love Texas barbecue, and respect to all those people and everything. But there's a lot of different flavors that haven't even been tested yet. So that's what I'm here for.
So I saw a video of it's a southern barbecue hall, like big venue,
Okay.
and they had oil tanks. You know, what I mean? Like an oil tank in your house that would open up,
Oh yeah.
have a whole pig in it,
Mhm.
and they had 6 whole pigs smoked, right? For hour, overnight or whatever it was, and then they basically
Whole
take
hog. Figure about a day.
whole hog. Is that okay? So
Figure about a day,
yeah, so then
give or take.
they put them basically on these big cutting benches and take out all the bones and basically chop the whole thing up with these big what do they call the big cleavers, and they're doing all this, and they had this whole way
If you
that
do
they
it right, you don't need any knives. I'm just saying, a whole hog, you should be able to take your hand in there and pull from whatever part of the pig you want, and and combine it all together. That's how whole.
Yeah,
hog
that's
should be.
definitely how it was going, but it was definitely he could have, but he had the guillotines. And he had this way of mixing it all because he was adding barbecue sauce the whole time too, and it was just
As it
wild.
should be.
And I didn't know, is that like a normal, like, do you do a whole hog and then just
I've
like,
done
is that
one
like
actually
something?
for.
Oh, okay.
Do you know who the Typho in Putnam?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, they're across from Walmart. I did. Her son got married last year up in Marlboro, Connecticut,
Okay.
at the farm, right there on 66. I can't think of it.
It's all good.
Very nice people there. Highly recommend. Um, Her son got married there, and they hired me to do a whole hog. It was the first one I did, so I actually bought a Miss Pac-Man. I call it a Miss Pac-Man smoker because it looks like it's an oil tank, but with where the thermometers are and the bar that goes across, it looks like a Pac-Man.
Oh, okay.
So I call it Miss Pigman. So anyway, you open this thing up, and I built this thing of like a fence with chain underneath, and I put the whole hog on, and I cut the head off because I didn't know if there was going to be little kids there or not. So I'm just like, you know what, we're going to go headless
Yeah.
on this one. I made, and you know what the ironic part was afterwards? There was a gentleman that came up to me before I started serving and was like, I want the head, and I'm like, sorry, it doesn't exist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was a great night, and I actually became very good friends with the owner. And she wanted to hire me. Actually, true story.
Oh.
She offered me a job to cook, whole hog in the back of a restaurant, and I was like, I just got some other goals
Yeah.
in mind.
Yeah.
But true
That's
story,
cool.
man.
That's awesome.
Very very nice family, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hmm.
But so would you do so the video that I was referencing that's basically what they do. They put those in a hoagie roll or a bulky roll. I forget what it was, but they basically make those as sandwiches, and that's what they serve.
That's what they serve. Yeah.
And I didn't know if that
Just
was like
pull 'em.
a thing you would ever do or do it.
I
'Cause
think
I really wanted to try it. Is why I'm
Well,
saying.
I tell you what. I tell you what. I mean, I think once I'm able to have a building, a place where you know what I mean. I'm not running around like a jack A all the time.
Okay.
It takes a lot of energy to do what I do. There's a lot of time
Sure.
involved. I do it because I love doing it. It checks a lot of boxes for me
Hmm.
personally, and I think once I'm able to have an opportunity to find a home base and let it grow organically, I think you're going to start seeing a lot of that kind of stuff.
Just more experimenting.
More growth, but and still at the same time being able to control. You know what I mean. I have to make sure that it's good, and there's been times, especially like last year, there's been moments where I wasn't 100% proud of what went out, and it bothers me. You know what I mean? Where you
Mhm.
start, weighing like money over like survival, and I had to get my back fixed, and I did, and I'm stronger than I have been in a while. I still got to get stronger. I still got to keep moving and get stronger day by day, but um, I just feel like I'm on a mission this year.
Nice.
You know,
Yeah.
don't get in my fucking way. Sorry, excuse me. Just don't. It's not worth it. I'm on a mission.
Viewer discretion is advised.
It just went up to PG-13 or whatever.
That's right. We get to drop one F bomb in PG-13 movies.
Say,
Salute.
amen. Amen. I guess I just used up my life. My cat lives. My apologies.
No, man. That's awesome. It's awesome to see how motivated you are. It's really good to see that you're healthy. For those of you that know Paul, when he got out of his car and I was walking him in, he was standing upright for the first time I think ever since I've ever met him. Didn't have any kinks or struggle getting out of the car.
I didn't
anything
have
like
to
that.
sit down because it was too painful to stand.
Right. Yeah. So no, it's good to see you like that, more lively and ready to rock.
It's been cool,
So,
man. Even as far as dad, you know what I mean. As you guys know, like being able to like last year, I was on a trip in New Hampshire, and I couldn't even walk.
Oh.
I constantly have to sit down, and it's I don't know. You're supposed to be the man of the family, right? And you're just sitting there like, I, I this
Yeah,
hurts.
just
I hate
keeping up with the kids overall. You know,
right? It definitely
'cause-
played. So now this year, now that the tables have turned, I've been able to get out with kids in the yard.
nice.
When we went on vacation, I was able to do things that I wasn't able to do before. Playing soccer in the backyard of people who have a lot of money. There's like this little backyard area, and we're kicking the ball, and I'm just like, this is radical.
Nice.
That I can, and I think that's what the rejuvenation I feel has a lot to do with that. I I I have to be careful with what I do. I can't just sit there and pick up 200-pound logs and put them on a
Right.
splitter anymore. Like I have to be careful how I do things going forward. But
Sure.
I'm learning. I'm learning, man. There's
Yeah.
a lot. There's a lot to learn being me, and I'm excited because I just don't give a See that?
Love it.
For
I
sure.
love it, man. That's great. Do you have any specials you want to do? Any menu stuff that you want to?
So I'm gonna. I think for me this year, a lot of it comes down to consistency,
Okay.
and because people come and everybody's got their thing, right?
Hmm.
So I like doing specials because it gives me a chance to scratch the itch. Because I just don't want to become a robot.
Right.
Just
Right.
keep doing the same thing over and over again. So I'll find the balance as we go, but I'm definitely gonna try to keep like, there's gonna be brisket, there's gonna be pulled pork, there's gonna be ribs, there's gonna be, you know what I mean. There's gonna be these are the things that you can expect every day, regardless.
Nice.
And
Was it the Biggie Mac? That's a really
the
good
piggy mac.
The Piggy
Yeah.
Mac. That's
Piggy
what it
Mac.
is. That's such a good sandwich.
I have a lot of people that love the burnt ends.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
the burnt
So
ends
good.
are
You know what
so
I mean?
good.
People like injected into my veins. I've seen so many people over the past couple weeks. After I got back from vacation, excuse me, that it's radical. The people that see you on the street, they're like, "When you coming? Where you been, man? What's going on?"
Right. Right.
And it's like, and it was cool. The other day, I was with my wife, and we were over at uh, Amy's Cakes there in downtown Danielson there.
Yeah.
What's her,
Yeah.
what's her name? The cake place there
Oh,
Yeah.
on the tracks.
Yep.
She's just opened,
Yeah.
but super super nice.
It's
And
cakery, right?
Amy's Cakery. I think.
Amy's Cakery.
Yeah.
All right.
Shout out. And my wife was going there to buy a cake for our daughter's birthday that's coming up. And yeah, no, it was all a great experience, and I forgot what I was talking about.
Just
I'm gonna be honest.
people looking at you and expecting you to when you open it up. that kind of thing.
So there was a gentleman outside when I went to Amy's.
Yeah.
Where a gentleman that has he's been a great customer over the past, and he just sat there and he was astounded that he just saw me,
Oh, okay.
and I was like, "Hi." Like, you know what I mean? Don't make it weird, man. I'm already weird enough. He's like, what's going on? Why are you here? And I'm just like, I'm ordering a cake for my daughter. He's like, is there any other masterpieces that I should know? Master chefs that I should know about other than yourself and Amy here? And I'm just like, dude, you got to search for them, but there are some great people out there that know what they're doing. So I guess it all depends what you're looking for,
Right.
you know?
Yeah. No, just with no traditional training, right? You.
Zero.
And I remember you
I'm dumb.
talking about that when you were first on here. I was astounded that not even really a mentor or anything to bring you in.
No.
That's big.
You know what I equate it to is like, have you ever heard of like those stories of like people that get into like a severe like traumatic accident and all of a sudden they're speaking a different language that they've never even been to the country, or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I equate it to something like that. I went out, I took the step off, and I said, I'm going to find out what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. I have no idea. but I often equate it to if you've ever heard of and I said this on the first podcast, I think was Gerald McBoing Boing, and I keep bringing it up, man, about venturing into the storm, and just because there's no other choice. You got to figure out what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that really helped, man. I think being a father and being a man, I had to look at myself realistically and said, you know what I built my life on is not fundamentally sound for me to continue forward.
Right. Right.
And I thank God for my wife that she's put up with me so long to figure out where I'm at. It's taken me a few years, but autistic burnout is real. It's a real thing, man. And I know we just, if we're in the month and we just missed it, about autistic awareness and neurodivergence. It's something that I want to start talking about more going forward.
Huh?
Yeah.
Kudos.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need a voice, and there's some really cool voices out there.
For sure.
I'm just going to echo what they say because I'm not
Hey,
smart enough.
I mean, I've definitely seen ADHD and autism become kind of a superpower. If it's
If it's harnessed the right
if
way.
it's kind of done the right way, yeah.
Correct.
Someone that figures it out.
Can you imagine?
It almost sounds like you figured it out with barbecue through that whole you didn't have to look at the paper clips to count them. You know what I mean? And
You can feel it. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
You just kind of feel your
There are
way
certain
through it.
things that attracted me to barbecue at the time that I was looking to slow down. I was looking to take more time. You know what I mean? So barbecue at the time made sense to me. It could have been a lot of different things, but barbecue just ended up.
Yeah, because you can't
as
rush
you
barbecue.
if you spin the wheel, right? The little pinwheel there on the thing of life.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The game.
It just yeah, exactly.
remember.
And it landed on barbecue for me afterwards. But the thing is that out of everything in my clouded head that I didn't know about myself and undiagnosed, the only thing that stuck out to me worthwhile was barbecue. You know what I mean? Like you want to talk about asking yourself, what is it that makes you happy? What is it that you know what I mean? And I'm talking about even the birth of my children sometimes. If you want to be an honest, like, why am I still miserable? Why I think I've got everything.
Right. Yeah.
And it's because I didn't build my professional career. I didn't build my self-worth through, it wasn't support. It was just appeasing other people, what other people wanted. And I always got accused of being selfish, which I found out that wasn't the case because of my afflictions, so and I always knew I wasn't like selfish because I didn't feel selfish. I
Right.
always wanted to try to do the best. My whole existence was doing the best I can for other people. So what is the formula? What is, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I've met like a lot of like great people like through online stuff and just learning about autism and what it actually looks like.
Yeah.
And realize that, you know what, I'm not alone in this. So
Sure.
but you got to understand 40 plus years being that little kid, you know what I mean, that got the living, crap made fun of, bullied and all that stuff over years, you know what I mean, it leaves like a ton of things you got to sort through as
Right.
you go on.
Yeah. The trauma.
Yeah, trauma's a big thing, man, and I think a lot of people have experienced it in a different way. But when you're autistic, so first of all, natural human being, regardless of whether you're a neurodivergent or regular person, a way of thinking, we experience pain 60% as compared to 40% as far as happiness goes. All right, just straight across the board. Okay, so we tend to like remember negative stuff more than positive.
It's a survival
Yeah.
instinct
Right.
to remember the
So,
negative thing, so you don't
when
eat
you're
the same poisonous
autistic-
fruit.
When you're autistic, it's times 3.
Okay.
I suffer from what is it? RSD, rejection, whatever, something syndrome, whatever the heck it,
I
whatever
feel like I've heard the letters before.
RSD. But I experience what I perceive as rejection 3 times harder than most people. So when I get a bad review, I say a lot of dumb stuff because I feel very strongly about that. So I'm learning how to take criticism a little bit better too going forward. I think that's good for the business.
For sure.
It seems like what the outside neurotypicals want. So I will oblige the best as I can. It's tough, man, living in this world. You know what I mean? Because I don't understand. And I'm very protective over my baby.
Yeah.
Which is wicked sinister. So.
Well, you got 4 people in my house that'll fight over your food. So. Me and my boys will all fight over who gets the mac and cheese or who gets the burnt ends.
Well, I'm hoping because of my increased capacity this year that there'll be enough for everybody that nobody will have to fight over anything.
Nice.
So
yeah, because you were typically selling out a lot.
Again, so there's a combination of things. Yes, I was selling out. There were some days that were crazy. But what would happen is that when I would sell out, there was a lot of times I couldn't do the overnight cook again to get ready for the next day. So sometimes it left me okay, what do I do tomorrow? Because I can't cook through the night. And again, a lot of that was not just the physical pain, but also the mental pain that I was going through with my back and everything else I'm trying to figure out in real time about me. And after all that, going through all of it, you know what I mean, and just having a clearer vision of what it means to me running this business in our community in the Last Green Valley. I think that's important, man. Not to get all political, but we need to protect our home.
So, yeah. You need to protect the great
land.
things about this area,
right? That makes it
and
special.
The people in it.
You drive around. I mean, you go to Rhode Island, you go into Massachusetts, you see the neighborhoods. Where do you see, places maybe out in Western Mass, maybe, but like places like where we live are getting less and less. We shouldn't just let them just roll over us.
No.
So, that's how I feel.
Yeah. No. I mean,
this is our home.
Big part of this platform is bringing people together. You know what I mean? And I love it, and I love it when I see like you and Chubby Dog did that coffee.
Yeah, I got a lot to make up with Adam. I kind of screwed him over last year, and I'm really sorry, Adam, if you're listening. I was supposed to do the music festival, and I somehow double booked myself again, the same exact I did the year before. Again, being how I am, I'm not going to sit there and make excuses for myself, but I have a problem saying no to people.
Okay. Yeah, that's tough.
And it gets me in trouble sometimes because I don't write stuff down.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. I'm going to try to not do that stuff anymore.
For sure. Well, I didn't mean to bring anything up. I just remember you had made.
I'm just being honest.
Was it brisket with his coffee? What'd you do with his coffee?
Yeah, we did a coffee influenced rub onto the brisket.
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah, no, it was really cool, man. And I'm looking forward to do, especially with.
You're going Fully Stoked, yeah,
man. No, I mean
we love Fully Stoked.
We went to school with each other. I believe he was a year ahead of me.
Okay.
We've run into each other at the Lisbon farmers market, and
okay,
you know what I mean. We were like, I gotta talk to you one day when we're not so busy.
yeah, he's always busy, and
he's doing some really awesome stuff.
And he just started another job working at the bike place in Putnam.
Bike place.
Yeah, he just posted that he's just gonna wrench on some bikes because he loves it. He's a skateboarder bike guy. He's like that's part of his brand, surfing and whatnot. Fully Stoked, that's like
right. I mean, stuff, going from beer to coffee to like, man, we can't keep up, man.
And he's so knowledgeable with all of it. It's great. I mean, yeah, that's cool if you guys are gonna do something like that. The other one, if I could make a suggestion, Quiet Corner Winery
Blackwater Winery. I don't know that.
out in Hampton.
Really?
Yeah, he's been on twice now, and just makes some of the. I'll open a bottle. We'll try it. I don't care. I'll open a bottle
All right.
for you later.
All right.
He makes some of the best wine I've ever had.
You know what would
And,
be cool, man? And I did this once at Black Pond. It was a steak
beer.
dinner
Yeah.
on Father's Day, and it went over great. The people that were lucky enough to get tickets and bought it that day, it turned out well. People were, even from the fire department, were like, "This is the best steak I've ever had." I'm like,
Nice.
I'm just an idiot that used to put barbecue sauce on that instead of, on a gas grill. You know what I mean? I'm not too far removed from that. But I think when you start understanding the science, and if you love doing what you do, and I have a tendency to become obsessed about some stuff when I'm engaged, and luckily enough, barbecue came across at the right time.
Yeah.
Yep,
Wow.
100%, man. I have no
Yeah, that's
business
cool.
being where I'm at.
Well, I was just thinking, like, I don't know what you could do with red wine. People cook with wine. I don't know.
Oh,
if that's-
no, but I'm serious. Like, so if you take like a wine, combine it with a vinegar based, and you combine that into the cooking process of whether it be a reduction or a spritz throughout the cooking process.
Injector.
That's how you get that nice purple steak with the grill marks.
Oh,
man.
nice.
So if you want a nice purple, you mean that smoke glow purple.
Yeah.
Yeah, red wine. Vinegar is a great way to go.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go over there and taste a few.
I don't want to give away all my secrets. You know what I mean? But red wine vinegar is a good thing to interact with steak during the cooking process.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mhm.
I'll trust you because I don't like vinegar. I don't like the taste of vinegar, but I've had it in many things. Obviously,
So
and
it's when you in combination, especially vinegar and salt. We're talking like basic elements here.
Yeah.
Don't overthink it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can
Yeah.
have some of the best food you've ever had in your life with just such simple ingredients.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's how I do venison because I don't know what to buy,
Mm-hmm.
so I just take
Keep it simple.
that simple stuff that's
Keep
in
it
the
simple.
cabinet.
Keep it something that's bold. You know what I mean? People like, I don't. A lot of restaurants around here, they don't invite flavor into the conversation. You know what I mean? It's just whatever I can grab off the shelf at the restaurant depot, and I'm just gonna you know what I mean. That's what a lot of it is.
Yeah, there's a couple that do a lot of local stuff too.
But
though. Yeah.
that's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. You're starting to see a shift now.
Right. Yeah.
Into these other, farm to table kind of
Yep.
menus. People are looking more towards the quality of food, and which is the approach that I've taken, just with a barbecue influence.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I love it.
Thanks, man.
That's awesome. Yeah, we'll open a bottle after that for sure.
Yeah. Listen, we got some
Twist
time.
my arm.
We got some time. But no, really, thank you for having me out here. I'm gonna be out in Woodstock. I'm getting my permits now through the health department. Getting my yearly lashings, as I call it. I'll just leave it at that.
Do you have an estimated open date?
I'm like a week and a half.
Oh
probably
wow,
out.
that's quick.
You know what?
That's great.
Part of me, it's like as soon as the check is cashed on their end, I feel like I have, I paid my dues. So
Right.
I just kind of do what I want. After I see that check go through my account, I go, I guess we're good. You could shoot me an email.
Pretty sure it's policy in most offices. Any check that comes in, you're supposed to cash it that evening. You're supposed to deposit it that evening.
So I just look at it like, you got my money. You know what I mean? Shoot me an email.
Yeah, you paid for the service.
Shoot me
so
an
now you're done.
email. I'm half joking, but there's some part of it where it's like, I don't know. We're being overregulated on so many different platforms.
Yeah.
I could talk to you till you're blue in the face about that.
No, and yeah.
Remember, man, we're Americans, we the people, so don't forget that.
Yeah. I mean, I've had the same.
Don't let them push you around.
I've had the same conversation with a lot of people in the food service industry, especially how
Yes,
it's been. Yeah.
It's getting, they're almost, it's almost like like I said, I went in there today, and it almost feels like they're allowed to treat you a certain way, and almost I cried a different, a couple different times today over it, about how they're allowed to talk to you.
Wow.
And I'm like, you know what, like I'm trying here to come in here to talk about what I want to do, and this is what I want to do, and all y'all just you treat us a certain way, you treat me a certain way. And I know we've had our problems before in the past, but you need to understand, like, you can't talk to everybody just like
And
that.
you're
You
trying
can't
to
treat,
you're
yeah.
trying to do it right.
I'm trying to do it right.
Right.
I'm going in there. I know how you feel about me, and I'm going in there with my tail between my legs. Can I please have the form that I need? And they're almost like bothered. They get paid by the dang hour, and it's almost like they're bothered that I have to go in there, and they're like, "Oh, we've discussed this." And they roll their eyes, and I'm like, you know what? I don't get it, man, because I don't agree with your BS. You know what I mean? There are different ways to do things. Um, I'm a barbecue guy. There's no barbecue around here. You know what I mean? You know, when they're talking about the surface of the ground has to be a certain type of thing, and my ceilings that are 14 feet up in the air have to be covered in a certain way, so no magical whatever comes into the, like, what are we talking about?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, well, we're just, enforcing the code. Yeah, I get that. I get that. But there's all, you guys are just stepping on my neck here, and I'm tired of it. I'm really tired of it.
Yeah, we've had conversations with one of the local farms. I won't bring up his
That's
name
fine.
now.
That's fine.
But he was talking about how he went to them first and said, "Okay, I'm trying to design a commercial kitchen. What do I need to make sure
Hmm.
that it's what I need
Right.
to get a full commercial kitchen permit? Just build it, and then we'll tell you if you pass or not." It's just like,
And
so spend 30 grand and
then you're gonna
maybe
come pick
it'll
me apart.
pass.
Yeah. So
Like,
it is that way to an extent. But now they're trying to push this whole other thing of, like, well, you need a consultation, so we're gonna send somebody to you wherever you want to do your kitchen, right? And we're gonna tell you everything you need to do that you possibly could never afford. You know what I mean? Like, the restrictions, as far as becoming a commercial kitchen, and trying to incorporate that on a residential property, is good luck to you.
yeah, it makes
Oh,
the
sorry.
gate to entry just financially impossible
Impossible.
sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, and
And
it's
you like just doing some commercial real estate through COVID, nobody would lend to any kind of food part. The food, opening up a restaurant during COVID was like never,
good luck.
because they shut them down, which I was so upset with, because it's
And
I don't,
I had a complete mental breakdown through COVID too as well. So when I say that, I mean I still haven't opened up mail for 2 to 3 years.
oh,
Okay, like, I don't open up mail. My wife, God, like I said, God bless her. I just, because all it does is, like, remind me of a life that I once was holding up that I can't do anymore. Like, I'm trying to pick it off one thing at a time here, but uh, there's this pressure to 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 succeed, and this is what we need to do, and you can get so wrapped up in it sometimes that I lost myself quite a few years. And then it just, you know what I mean, it,
it's all good. It's all
when the
good.
when the weebles wobble back and forth, and you can't hold that up anymore, and I'm so sorry. I keep knocking stuff over.
No, no.
I talk with my
That's
hands,
It's
man.
still
all-
good. See,
it's good.
Still-
That's
it's still
why I
mine.
hung them from the ceiling, because the dogs would have knocked them over hundreds of times by
Yeah, but
now.
you don't need
So,
any help. Man. Shoot. I'm sorry.
um, well, man, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what what happens.
Give me another week and a half. I'm chipping away at it.
Yeah.
Like I said, grabbed the papers I needed to from the health department today. I'll get it all filled out, returned tomorrow morning. Um, I've got some other cool stuff that I think is going to help in the future. I don't want to. It's stuff that just developed today. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, man.
Today's 2026. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. I'm excited.
Keep swinging, man.
I'll eat your food off the floor. I don't really care.
I've had so many people say that. I'm like, I can't give that to you. And I've had another guy that owns a barbecue place out over in Rhode Island towards the Massachusetts line. He's like, dude, he goes, if you were in my neighborhood, I wouldn't even bother making brisket. He goes, I wouldn't even bother.
Wow.
He goes, I was like, wow, that's like one of the awesomest compliments you could give to another
Nice.
pit
Yeah.
master is like, if you were in my neighborhood, I wouldn't even bother cooking brisket. I would just, it's not worth it.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, okay, thank you. I'm like, what a kind thing to say.
Right. Right.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
I keep trying to improve on that all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love how it really seems to be this new culture, especially in the business or business owner world, where like we're lifting each other up. Even if you're competition, we're lifting each other up rather than
Yeah, man,
tear 'em
100%.
down. Like, we don't
I've
have
experienced
that anymore.
Well, I've experienced it a little bit. I'm not gonna name names.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna name names, but I've had a few people take some unnecessary swings at me, and I'm just like, well, that's not fair.
Yeah.
Like you do you, I'll do me, and then
Yeah, I'm gonna guess and hope that that's just the minority
it is.
of who it is, and
Most people have been amazing.
and they're having a bad day, and they'll join the majority eventually.
Right. I'm
where-
not trying
where we
to
just don't do
chop any
that.
down.
I go to networking, and there's 14 at minimum 14 or 15 other realtors there, and I just like you kind of get that like right away, like you're not gonna be able to be everybody's realtor. It's just there's just too many of them.
Right.
There's too many clients. There's too many realtors.
So be the realtor
That's right.
that you want to be.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
That's
I
the
love being the
approach.
realtor's realtor. I love it when another realtor is impressed by how I handle the situation.
Right.
You know what
That
I
was
mean?
cool, like how you-
yeah, because they know game notices game.
Game
kinda
notice
thing,
game.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just like I
100%,
love it
man.
when you get to work with a really good realtor and you're giving each other tips so that both of you get better together.
Right. And
'cause-
it just helps. It just helps the
Yeah.
overall thing, man.
right.
And being like knowledgeable enough to be like, or not knowledgeable, have enough respect to do like to understand that I don't know everything. Like I know where I came from. Have no business being in the barbecue game. I did everything the wrong way probably 3 times before I learned how to do it the right way.
Dude, that's how this platform got built.
Right? 100%,
It's
right?
like-
Yeah,
It was
man.
like as soon as I wanted to introduce something else, something would go wrong, and it was just like one failure after another to
But
get
that's where if you're looking at it from the right angle, that's where success lies within is through our failures.
and even now people ask me like, oh, I'd love to set up a studio, and I was like, I don't really know how to set up a studio. I know how
Yeah.
mine got set up,
Yeah.
but let's work on it together, and let's do it together, and then we'll both have each other on as guests.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's
man.
like
that's cool.
that was one of my big goals this year, was to mentor other podcasts. And shout out to Simply Growing Food. He wants to do
Dude,
video.
I'm just looking on your wall, and I'm feeling
Oh.
so disappointed here that I need to get some stickers made up because I see a lot of FSC, coaster roasters over here. Like I'm so jealous, and I need to start. It's been a goal of mine, but it's
Well, a shout out
there.
to JG Creations. JG Creations he brings a gift. John
Oh, wow.
brings a gift every time he comes on.
Radical,
And,
man.
Yeah, he's made all this stuff with his.
It even says "man" on the bottom of the glass.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. He's a laser specialist, and
That's radical.
he does all this stuff. So if you need coasters and other marketing stuff, he's really spot on.
That's
with
the guy.
Everything, yeah.
That's the guy. man.
He's done
All right.
a number of house hats for us. That.
I'm gonna have to start getting like I said, I need to the merchandise is definitely a step that I want to. I've been talking about it for years, and I procrastinated, and I just once we get going, it's something that I just wish I had more people or someone else that could take, like, hey, like you take care of this stuff, and I'll go over here and just cook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And grow this thing to what it should
Yeah.
be. You know.
Yeah. I will say you have a really marketable like name and all the stuff that you've designed already with Wicked Sinister in it and
Appreciate you, man.
all that is it's gonna make some really awesome merch is what I'm saying. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool
I
design.
really found this guy that's on the opposite end of the earth in India that made my logo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, it's super wild. Like you get one of those websites and then you put it out to bid, and you're like, hey, you pick from designs. You're like, I like you, and then and I still follow him, and he follows me still on Instagram.
Oh, that's cool.
You
That's
know,
awesome.
just
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Even though he's on the other side of the world and could care less, but I still carry that same original logo that he made. So
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah,
he nailed it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I love it. Like it's so recognizable. Like, you see
The
Wicked
blue
Sinister
blue
there.
moon
Yeah. Yeah.
in the background with the birds flying, the crows flying off in the distance, and we all know the theory behind crows and the memory and the blue moon, representing, it's just there's a lot to it,
Nice. It
um,
really spoke to you.
appreciate, yeah,
Yeah.
it really did.
So.
So
Cool, man.
yeah, man, what else? What are we thinking? Like, so like I said, I'm still gonna do the Brooklyn Fair this year, and I'll do a few other events. I agreed to do the Barks event coming up in
Haven't heard it.
downtown, and it's through Killingly through the KVA, with the store with Barks. You've had them on here, I believe, on your show.
Well,
I can't think of the
now
name
I'm
of the store.
embarrassed.
No,
Like-
yeah, no, I
dog-
feel like I should.
barking like a dog.
Yeah, it's like the
a
dog.
groomer. or
Yeah, the
something?
dog groomer place there in downtown Danielson. What's the? There's an event going on through the KVA. I'm gonna be setting up there. That'll be like one of the few events that I actually attend this year.
Were they always on Main Street?
They've just opened up like
They just
the
opened up,
past
okay.
6 months to like maybe 10 months.
Wow, there's been I'm sorry, 125 episodes.
No, man.
It's
Listen,
just
like there's no 100%, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying that'll be like the first event that we do this year.
yeah,
I'll be
Nice.
posting about it, so
and that'll be at their location.
Yeah, I think it was at KAS, I
Okay.
believe, last couple of years.
Gotcha.
So I think this is going to be like I said, either the second or third year that they're doing this.
Yeah.
And everybody can bring their dogs and stuff like that. And I apologize because I really feel like I painted myself into a corner here. I should have really like
We need a Jamie. Look that up.
right? There needs to be something in the corner, like the little mole, like skirting in the background. My apologies. That's
good.
but anyway, it seems like to be a cool event that you can bring your dog and
Yeah.
and your family and just have a good afternoon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And that's coming up. What this? spring?
In May.
May.
May 17th. Don't quote me on that. It's the middle of May.
Gotcha.
And Jaylee's probably just probably freaking out right now. I'm like, how do you screw this up? I'm sorry. She just texted me today or yesterday about certain specifics of the event. And,
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah. I'm like, I should probably start talking
Hold on.
about that.
It's Barks and Bloom,
you
Sunday,
go.
May 17th.
Oh, I did say. What did I say? 17.
Barks
I mumbled. I wasn't too sure, but
So May 17th,
Yep.
you'll be up and running.
I'll be up and running before then, but that'll be like the first event.
Yeah.
And we'll have our dog will be there. Just
Nice.
wiping up the road there. 'Cause she's a mop.
Yeah.
Little Cavapoo.
I don't know if I've ever heard of that.
She's a runt.
Yeah.
But she's like, what are the Cavalier dog and, a half poodle, but like she was on the small end of it to begin with. And then I think being the runt of she's like 5 pounds. But she's got a great heart, man.
Like the furthest thing from a wolf you can be.
Yeah, no, she's a snack.
Which is funny. All dogs come from a wolf. Just think about how did we get that?
How did we get to this point? You know what I mean? She's probably the one to have the most gripe about that, I think. But she's a great dog, man.
That's
She's
awesome.
cool. You know what I mean?
Great.
Every morning at 5 o'clock, she licks my face, telling me that she has to go to the bathroom. So, yeah,
Nice.
it's time to go. Get up.
Yeah. Alarm clock dog. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's
I
cool.
never have to worry about. I don't like alarm clocks. I never have. You know.
Yeah. No one does.
You know.
I think that's
So it's either kids, dogs. You know what I mean? They'll let you know.
yeah.
Oh, sweetheart.
Well, man, I'm very excited about
Yeah.
this year, and we're rooting for you for sure here at the bench. You're
Appreciate you, man.
more
Really,
than welcome to come
seriously.
back if you have anything for us to shout out. During the year, just let me know. Send me a text, or you can send me.
I appreciate that, man.
You have like
Once I have more definitive answers, like I said, it's been
right for sure.
especially the past week of just before I submit the paperwork, I make sure I'm gonna be where I'm gonna say I'm gonna be for a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
That's it.
Nice. I
Thank
love
you.
it, man.
Thanks,
and,
man.
Wish you all the best.
Appreciate it.
for sure.
Yeah, good luck.
Appreciate you, man. So let's shut this thing off so we can try that wine.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. The Community Workbench podcast family is promoting the Be the One campaign. It was started by the American Legion in efforts to stop veteran suicide. If you know a veteran, call them. Be the one to check in on them. For more details, visit betheone.org. Also, please extend this to all first responders as well. The Quiet Corner Peer Support Group is a great resource for help when dealing with PTSD. You can see them on Facebook, and they have an office over at Jolly Commons in Killingly. Join us next Monday night at 6 when we talk to Hannah Trudeau, LPCATR. She's a clinical program manager. First question is going to be, what do these letters mean? I've watched this woman grow up from. I mean, I worked with her dad, and I remember him having to leave the job site to go put her on the bus for the first day of kindergarten. So it's really, really incredible to see what she's become.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to talk to her all about it, her occupation and what she does.
That's cool.
It's definitely her degree is like therapy through art. And she works with special needs, so it's just
That's great.
This one's a real close one to my heart. She's I don't know if she would consider maybe more like a surrogate uncle.
Yeah, no, man.
Drunk uncle.
No, but like trying to be a positive influence in somebody's life. I mean, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, no, we're super tight with the family.
Cool.
Always have been. Her dad and I worked together for years at Woodstock Building Associates, and then even after when I had either side jobs or I needed help with stuff, or he needed help, we'd work on each other's houses and stuff. It was just that we had that great working relationship.
Yeah.
So
Super cool.
tune in Monday night. Next Monday night at 6 when we talk to Hannah Trudeau. As always, buy local, hire local, dine local, volunteer local, donate local, get some local barbecue at Wicked Sinister.
Appreciate
And
you.
have great days.